So I've had a pretty long, discouraging day, and heart is in a lot of turmoil. Pretty upset and feeling really down. So I thought today I could try telling some stories from my days as a library circulation desk student because they're funny. They're funny, they're sad, they're awful, but they're, yeah, it's gonna make me laugh just retelling them, so maybe it'll make me feel better. So I used to work at the front desk, and well, I started out in the stacks, like uh, putting books back, shelving them, put them on carts, and you continue that to some extent when you move to circulation desk. But I have very nice customer service skills when I'm it sounds horrible, but when I'm in the mood to be polite and nice, I can do a pretty bang up job. So, uh, after about a semester, they bumped me up to supervisor circulation desk student. So, um, I was a super student or something. Um, and I was in charge of the front desk whenever I was there. I locked up at night sometimes when I had shifts that ran to midnight. I can't believe I used to do that. Huh. Because nowadays I like run out of the office as soon as I can. I'm like, oh. But, back then I was working shifts that less. Okay, so I would lock up at midnight. I'd turn off all the lights, kick all the people out of the reading areas, uh, in the circulation desk area part. So there was, you know, one reading room here, and this is our desk area. And I would kick everybody else out at midnight, turn off all the lights. I got to make the announcements. It's like, you know, I forgot what I had to say, but it was something to the effect of, the library will be closing in 15 minutes. If you have items that you still need to check out, please bring them to the circulation desk area, you know, in the next 15 minutes or something. Uh, and then I would lock up, like I said. Well, one time I had kicked everybody out, turned off all the lights, locked every door except for the one that I was going to go through, because that one I lock as I leave. I go back, I turn off all the computer screens, I make sure nobody else is there, and I went to the back area to turn off some switch or something, and whirled around to leave, and there was a stool there that I did not see, like a step stool. So I literally flew, like a projectile flew over the stool after tripping on it, landed like this on the carpet ground, and just like an anime. So I'm there, and I've had my legs are still up in the air, on the stool, and my chin is on the ground, and I'm like, ugh, and um, all the air is knocked out of me, so I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't cry. I can't make a single sound. Like, I'm in so much pain, and it's just like, and I can't move, and I'm really scared because I can't, But it turned out it was just because I was in a lot of pain and out of breath and stuff. So I'm lying there, paralyzed, basically, for the time being, for all intents and purposes, paralyzed, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't get up by myself. I need help. I've got to cry for help. So I start crying for help. And then it occurs to me, several things occur to me. First is that I just kicked everybody out of any vicinity, like the vicinity, like the radius of, people, area of people being able to help me at that time. I just emptied it. The entire place. I kicked everybody out, being like, goodbye, good night, bye, good luck, Godspeed, whatever. So there was nobody around to help. Uh, but I thought I would cry for help anyway. Now, another thing that occurred to me was that my cry for help, if it was an actual cry, might have helped, but my cry for help because I was out of breath and had been so shocked and was in so much pain sounded like this. So it wasn't really a cry for help. It was uh, uh, just like groaning, like this awful, awful groaning, and I couldn't form words. I was in so much pain. I just, you know, there was nothing to be done. And in that moment, I thought to myself, wow, we all live alone and die alone. It's the truth. It was a really morbid moment, I guess, but I'm kind of a morbid person when it comes to it sometimes. Like when I'm in a situation where I'm like in a darkened library area and, I've just fallen and I can't get up and I don't have that senior citizen pressing thing that I can wear on my neck because who would have that at 19? So, like, I was just thinking to myself, wow, the world is a lonely place. It's a cold, lonely place. And you live and die alone. So, I was like that for about 10, 15 minutes. Then, recovered eventually. Got up, hobbled around, still locked up, took care of all of my duties, and walked outside the library. And the first step I took, I just, like, broke into tears. Until that point, I didn't even cry. I just broke into tears. I called my roommate and I was like, I can't walk home. Can you please come pick me up or something? And by the way, if you're wondering, why didn't I call somebody when I was on the floor? It wasn't those days when I used to have the phone on my person at all times. It was in a bag far away. And if I could get to that bag, then I'd be fine anyway. So that's not um, a plot hole or anything, I promise. Or, stupidity. I hope not. I hope there wasn't anything better I could have done. Anyway, so that's one of the library horror stories. Oh, and the funny thing is, the next day, a lot of people study in the reading room right next door. It's called the Pierce Reading Room. It's featured in another one of my library horror stories that I don't have time to tell today because it's already, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. But the Pierce Reading Room, yeah, a lot of people used to hang out there, study, spend all night there, And the next day, because remember, I'd made the announcement about the library closing, and my friends recognize my voice. They know that I'm at the desk and everything. Next day, one of my friends comes up to me. She was like, yo, we were in the Pierce Reading Room, and we heard some really weird sounds coming from the book drop. Because, the book drop from the Pierce Reading Room it's directly, like, if you open it up, it's the circulation desk area. So I was near there. That's where the switch was. So if it had been an intelligible cry for help, it might have worked, to be honest. Because apparently you could hear low, keening groans around the other side of that wall. So she was like, yeah, we heard these really awful groaning noises. What the fuck was that? And it was just after you locked up, like, turn off all the lights and stuff. What was that? And I was like, you know, I haven't the faintest. So that's one of my library stories. I didn't realize it was going to take so long to retell, but yeah, maybe I will tell another one of my library horror stories. And they're all horror stories. I promise. Just like this one. On another day when I feel like I just need to tell a funny story.